everyone, it's Nicole Spohr for Plan with Nicole, and today we're going to be setting up our weekly spread in our vertical planner for the week of January 3rd through the 9th. So I am using this Disney Oasis Collection 2022 dated planner for my kind of catch-all or vertical home life personal type of planner this year. I did share my dashboard spread for this week a couple of days ago. That is my work related spread every week where I keep work. This is where I keep home life type of activities, appointments, things like that, things that I need to do, you know, returns, groceries, that kind of thing, like grocery pickup. So I am planning on using a couple of sticker books. So I generally start with a couple and then I tend to pull extra if things don't exactly go how I envision. But I'm going to tell you, I envisioned nothing. I had no plan for this week besides I had pulled this abstract watercolor recovery sticker book, and I knew I kind of thought I wanted to make it the basis of my spread. The Mickey heads for the days of the week, for the dates, those are that gold color, and I love the golds and blues together. So I pulled this watercolor recovery sticker book because it has some of those same golds, tans, browns, blues in it. Not a ton of the phrases and stickers from the sticker book really work for my everyday spread. For my wellness planner, yes. But I did find some things to pull from here. So this long box sticker is going to go in the sidebar. And then I love a ton of these abstract type watercolor images, which if you guys have been here a while, you know my love of all things of the watercolor stickers. Cannot get enough of them. And I really wanted to show in my video today how this spread came to be, because like I said, I had no real vision for this week, but where I start and where I end up are two extremely different things. Now, I did pull this sticker and it is going to end up living kind of somewhere around here. I love the little circle shape in it. And at first I thought I'd try to do a Mickey head, and that just wasn't working. I mean, in theory, that was kind of a cute idea, but it didn't work. What I end up doing doesn't happen until the very end of the video, and I absolutely love it because I do find a circle sticker, but it is in nothing that I have out currently. This was a spread that took me back to my sticker books repeatedly, trying to find things that would go together. I don't know what my deal was, but I struggled. Now, I kind of thought about doing this how about Minnie sticker here, and opted to switch it. I'm still going to use her, but she's going to move to the right side of the spread. I love all the quote stickers in this book, but like I mentioned, I think they work better for a wellness recovery, if you will, type of album or spread, and that's not really what my weekly spread is. So I am now going through another sticker book. This one is going to be, let me make sure I get the name right, you guys. And of course it's at the bottom. This is the Fancy Florals, and I thought some of the golds in here would work, and really they probably would have. I don't think I end up pulling very much from here, but we are going to pull some little stickers here in a bit. And then I am into my Disney Oasis sticker books, and I have both the Oasis Adventure, which is more of the boxes, and the Oasis Adventure Icons, which is more of the images. That's where Minnie comes from. So I'm definitely incorporating Disney into this week's spread, and there's a lot of flipping. I like to be real with how long something takes, and normally I do not really love to be, I shouldn't say that. So there's a couple of theories for how long it should take you to create your planning spread. And I say should very lightly. With any type of artwork and crafting, I am not a big fan of rules. If you're enjoying what you're doing, who cares how long it takes? For me, this is a really fun outlet and creative outlet and something I love to do. So I don't mind that it took me probably an hour and 15 minutes to put this spread together. And that's because it just had a lot of twists and turns. I did not have a plan going into it like I did with my dashboard. My dashboard spread actually was much quicker just because I had an idea and a plan. When I am doing a layout like this, it tends to take a little bit longer because I'm struggling. Once I kind of settle on a couple of these watercolor images, so we've got the rectangular one on the right side and the circular one over on the left, plus I need to add something else. I like a visual triangle. I don't think it's going to, I'm not going to use that third one you see there. It's one of the first ones I pulled, but it doesn't have enough blue in it, and I'm trying to pull in some blues and pastel pinks and things into my spread to really match the mini and then like the blue sticker boxes and things like that and some of the watercolor. Once I have those two watercolor images, things start to maybe come together a little bit easier. I did get this Mojo Jojo Plans neutral sticker book of boxes from my friend Alana. And thank you so much, Alana, for sending me this. I absolutely love it. I had not really heard a lot of this. I've had several of you tell me about Mojo Jojo, but I hadn't really looked into it a whole lot. And she was so sweet to send these to me, and now I'm addicted. So if you are looking for tons of great boxes, I highly recommend her sticker books. I did check before I did this video, and I believe everything is out of stock right now. So sign up for her emails to be notified when she has them back. I am layering one of her stickers boxes with that nice neutral brown border, which matches these watercolor recovery stickers perfectly with that, and then mini. And I love that little grouping. That little grouping is really going to inspire the rest of my spread. I'm also adding checklists. You guys know I'm a huge fan of checklists, so I'm going to add some of those, but I do need to add more watercolor, and I'm trying to add it too soon. I'm just telling you that straight off. I need to figure out where my function's going to be, and then where I need to add boxes if I have appointments. I know my son has an appointment on Monday. I think by the time this video goes up, it will probably be after that, but that's totally cool. But that's what I'm working on right now. First function, then we can add the rest of the pretty. I generally start with pretty, at least in some sort of form or fashion there, so that I have a guideline to go from, and then we will build from there. I know a lot of you have asked so many times, how do you figure it out? How do you use it after you've added these stickers? Use it right in your planner. I always start my planner with the goal of making sure there's plenty of room to write. If I run out of room, somebody asked what happens if I run out of room. I have never had that happen, so I don't have a good answer for that. I do try to leave some white space. I don't just write in boxes. You can see with checklists, I actually write on the planner page itself, but I generally leave some white space around that you can fill in if you need extra room. One of the things that has helped me not have to use or not run out of room is that I use two separate spreads now, one for personal and one for work. But even when I was combining them, I wasn't really running out of room per se. I probably just left stuff off, to be honest. I don't even know. For me, it just makes so much more sense to have them separated so that I'm not having to search through my spread for work-related things. I know that when I turn to this spread, it's home life. So I'm not looking at this spread during the day. I'm not. I look at it in the morning. I see what I have going on. I add to it if I have some things I need to do, if I need to run, some returns back to the store, or I have a grocery pickup or a Target pickup, or I have a nail appointment, hair appointment. Ethan has something going on, whatever it might be. If there's school conferences, or if I need to bring a meal for sports or whatever, that's where that information goes on this spread. So I look at it in the morning. I get an overview. I usually look at it at night, see what's going on the next day. I look at it in the morning. I add anything I need to add to it. And then when I go to work, I have my work spread open with what needs to happen. And that, for me, that works really well. I'm not having to search both areas. I would say if you are going to use this spread for both, I would really recommend maybe not decorating it as much, and maybe one row is home life and one row is work. I think that would work for kind of keeping organized as well, instead of trying to mix it all up. Now, I really wanted to use this washi. I think this is from like the Papillon. I will link it down below if I can find it in stock. I'm pretty sure it's still in stock because I didn't get it that long ago. It's kind of a brown with a little gold foil dot. That's the only foiling I'm adding to my spread this week, I think. Mostly because foiling is super hard to photograph. I like foiling, especially like gold foiling or rose gold foiling, but it's really, really hard to photograph. Now, I did join these little boxes here. You can see I grabbed an appointment box from the Oasis icons and I layered it over a Mojo Jojo's Plans box. I'm going to kind of use her browns and tan boxes throughout to tie it all together. But then that little blue border box from the Disney Oasis matches the Watercolor Recovery long sticker box in the sidebar, which I love. The watercolor swoosh over on the right side of the spread is also from the Disney Oasis line, and I love them. I think I've used almost every one of them that was in that sticker book because I really love it. So we're going to cut that one and have it in a couple of different places so we can get some more bang for our buck from that watercolor. And then something I do a lot with my vertical spreads is part of my checklist is like up high and the other is going to be down low for where it fits. These checklists, let me tell you what sticker books that is from. I believe they're from Nichol Watercolors, which I completely went rogue and just started pulling from lots of different sticker books. I believe they're from that. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that it might be from. I believe they're all from the Nichol Watercolor. And then we've kind of got some layering here with boxes, washi tape, watercolor. You can probably start to see where I'm going with this. I did find a good place for that little watercolor right to the right of the mini box on my spread. And I like it. Honestly, this would probably have been fine just like this. I'm trying to find something to kind of label each of my days, and I'm going to show you one of my very favorite things. I kept trying to use these and I feel like they're too big, and I'm really glad I didn't use them. I love to put some words along the left side of a checklist like this. I think it's really cute. I'm not going to use these because still I'm not loving it. They're too big. I need something a little smaller, I think, a little more dainty and delicate. But this is a great idea. Maybe if you don't have as many check boxes, even to put these on the sides of colorful boxes, it's one of my favorite looks. Instead of having them up at the top, put them on the side. It's really kind of a cute, fun look. But I am trying to figure out what to do here, and I keep trying to use these because they are from the sticker book. I believe they're from, I think they're from Abstract Watercolor, and I really liked the color of them, but I'm going to tell you what we end up using instead. So remember I said Fancy Florals, I didn't use a ton from it. I did find some goals, words, they have a little stripe through them that's going to coordinate nicely, so we're going to swap that out. But I do feel like I need another large mini on my spread. I didn't feel like this was the right spread to mix both Minnie and Mickey, especially Mickey from the Oasis line has red in it, and I did not, or it's kind of more of a maroon. I did not want to introduce that. The pink I like with these blues and golds, but I didn't really want to add the maroon in today. So that's where we're going to kind of keep our focus. And I'm going to go ahead and pull those to-dos because I just found the Fancy Florals goals words, and we're going to actually swap that out for those. And I think it looks a lot better. It's a lot smaller, and it adds just a little something to those. Now, I needed to move the sticker, and I had just tried to remove it a second ago, and it stuck really, really bad. It started to tear my colorful box, so I used undo. I try not to use undo that much. However, for whatever reason, this week I've used it a ton. So I'm just going to kind of lift everything out of the way because it needs to dry. I'm going to fold up my wax paper and also the planner sheet underneath because we want all of that to dry and hopefully dry quickly. I'm going to play around with Minnie though. I like her sitting at the bottom of this box. She will cover up the Minnie that's on the spread. I think I mentioned this in last week's spread since that was the first week that I have done a spread in this planner. I don't love that they've added Minnie to every vertical spread. I may be kind of franken planning that my weeks just when I don't have a creative way to cover her up, I may try to find something a little more plain to use. So guess what? You guys are not going to be surprised. I'm back to my washi tape shop text washi for my spread. You guys, I'm probably going to use this roll of washi till it's gone. I love it so much. So I decided I wanted to add touches of text background throughout my spread. This is not going to be the only place that it is. And I like to kind of line it up with a side and then just do kind of an organic tear. I don't really care if it's super perfect here because we are going to layer the box over the top with Minnie. And I'm going to make sure that her legs hang down low enough that it covers up the Minnie that's printed on the spread. I love this, you guys. I hope you love it too, because I thought it turned out so super cute. And in fact, this little thing here, the washi tape shop text washi, inspired basically the rest of the spread, and it has tons of layering. So layering is something I love to do when I scrapbooked. I love to find ways of creative layering in my card making, and I can tell that that's might be the direction I'm heading with my planning, at least to a certain extent, because I ended up kind of lifting and moving things all over this week for my vertical spread to add in this text in different places. And I love it. I love it so much. I think it really adds something. Again, boxes on my spread, I added this little torn piece of washi to kind of pretend, quote unquote, hold it in place. Even though it's a sticker, I love the look that the washi's taped it in place. And then here we're grabbing our goals stickers, and I'm starting to transfer things to my spread where I have my check boxes and this little goals sticker. Here's my goal with the goals sticker: to avoid that little check box, the little circle, because it's hard to write over the clear stickers. It's going to smear with most markers unless you use a Sharpie, and a Sharpie is going to bleed through the paper. So I'm trying to avoid the actual check box so that I can mark it off as things get done. And this is where I'm going to position the word goals on all of these. I love it. It's small, unobtrusive, and really adds a little something to the daily checklists. So definitely, if you like that look through your sticker books, see what you have, look through your stamps. You may have something similar. Any kind of word will work. Basically, I like, today, to do, important, don't forget, goals, whatever. So definitely try that because it's one of my favorite looks. Here's my little box. I like to have my boxes kind of staggered and not lined up perfectly. And I did not get that. And by not lined up perfectly, I mean in the constraints of the actual printed box. I do like to have them lined up. When they're wonky, it does drive me a little nuts for the most part. And that's when the undo has to come out. So there are my little boxes. And then of course we're going to add our little watercolor underneath the edge of the mini box. I like the little touches of watercolor throughout. I think it adds such a fun organic look to the design and to the spread. So let's go ahead and grab our watercolor swoosh here and our other box. I'm just going to trim off half of that. We're saving it, of course, because it's going to take up residence on the left side of the spread. Now, I did go ahead and adhere this right to the right side of the spread. I'm going to have to lift it up, however, because like I said, after putting that text washi over on the left side, I really wanted to incorporate more layering throughout my spread, and so I'm going to add a little bit extra. And this really was a great way, this text washi, to fill in some empty space and not feel like I had to just keep adding stickers, keep adding watercolors, keep adding Disney stickers, whatever it is. It allowed me to be a little bit more thoughtful with what I chose to put where, because it takes up some space and adds a great element, a great layering element. I positioned my layered boxes, which of course is the watercolor, the Jojo Plans box, mini, and the little washi holding it in place. I was able to lift that and move it all at once. I love that. And then just naturally how this spread fell, I have an empty spot up at the top on Sunday, but I didn't really have one along the bottom edge. So that's totally fine. I just want to make sure that I have a spot every day for checklists. I tend to like to kind of continue on something I've done, you know, for a few days. I like to have it be pretty similar for most days, most of the time. We're adding those last few checklists. We will add the word goals to all of these. And I also really like these to be lined up perfectly. I don't like these to go over a couple of boxes. I've tried before and I just don't like it. So this works best for me. I'm loving it. I hope maybe you can kind of start to see the vision at this point, because it really was a work in progress. And then let's go ahead and just finish off with the goals before we kind of move on to adding some final things. At the bottom of the left side of the spread is a huge empty space, and I've known it all along. Even as I'm working on it, I feel like it's a good place for a quote, but I'm having a really hard time finding something I want to use in the sticker books I have pulled. And so it was one of the last things I did, if not the very last. I really had to go through my sticker books until I found something that would work with this spread. It was a struggle. I looked through the Disney Oasis sticker books, and a lot of them had more Mickey and Minnie's on them. I didn't want to have any characters. I wanted it to just be a quote, so it was really, really hard for me to find something that worked. Okay, let's peel off our watercolor sticker because I want to add some more of this text washi. So I wish I would have thought of it before. I didn't. It's okay. I'm going to trim down a little bit of this, and then we're going to simply place it along the right side of our spread. I'm only really attaching there along the right, and then I'm going to grab up here at the top and just do a little pull and then smooth it out. Oh, I love it. Let's go ahead and pop our watercolor over the top. I love that too. We're going to layer some boxes here. I think I started with one, but I end up adding another one a little bit later. Sundays a lot of the time is my day for like pick up grocery orders and things, and so I usually love boxes for those. I don't know why, but I do. And I feel like up here is another spot that needs a little something, and I think we can add some text. And I'm just going to tear it, so let's lift it up. I've only really attached it along the left side now, and I'm going to tear down the right side. And then I don't want it over my watercolor recovery sticker. So I want to lift that up. I also need to straighten up my line up at the top. So I want to lift that up a little bit. In fact, I think I have to lift up my washi tape. Let's just carefully, and I was really, really careful. Just lifting it up. We're going to tuck the washi underneath and then layer the watercolor sticker on top. And again, that very easily fills in some space. Now there's a lot of space underneath the washi, the boxes, and mini. Those areas could all be written in. If you have extra things, you could add extra boxes. When I share the after the pen, the 1st of February, we'll see what I end up having to do for this week, but you could also add another quote there if you wanted to. You can always add to it later. If you feel like your spread is kind of light in certain places, don't be afraid to add extra. So since I added so many of these little text torn box or strips on the right side, I feel like the left side needs it as well. So I've added that one down at the bottom, especially to replicate kind of what I did with the watercolor swoosh over the top. The bad thing is we're going to have to lift up this box and we're going to have to lift up this watercolor sticker because I want it to be underneath. And this gave me a little bit of fits because of how I did this, but this was the other half of one of that torn piece that I just added on this page, which I love. I love that I was able to utilize it in a couple of spots and not really have to get rid of anything. And then we're just going to tuck that there. And this has a lot of layering on top, but I love the text showing through that watercolor. I think it's so, so pretty. If there is nothing else that you ever get from the washi tape shop, their scripty washis are so good. I am just addicted to them. I think they are amazing. This is the vertical one. They also have a horizontal one, and I highly recommend both. I think there's some other like numbers and stuff. I haven't got any of them yet, but I'm thinking about it. I love it. And then we're just going to add another little box, some more little washi. I do think the little bit of gold dot on this washi really adds so much to the box design. I love how it looks like they're taped in place. And then I want to grab a couple more little, I kept thinking I wanted to add some more watercolor, and I'm going to actually hang this one off the side, and I like it. Every once in a while, I like to kind of go off script and have something hanging off of a side like this. And let's just trim that up real quick. I like it. I think it balances everything really nicely. Now, that big spot over on the left side really needs something still. So I think we're about done here. Oh, I do add a little bit more of like watercolor splotches from the watercolor recovery book to this right side. So we've got this little splatter here. You could totally leave the splatter out if you need more space to write. I used it more as a little decorative element. I'm trying to decide what to do here. I want this, yes. I feel like this kind of gives her something to stand on, almost like little stones or something. I don't know. And I like how it overlaps the other watercolor swoosh. I really, really like that. I think it turned out good. And then this little splatter, I do end up putting up here, which I also like. It makes this grouping more of the focal point on the right side of the spread. And then let's finish off the left side of the spread. So we're kind of going back to the beginning of the video where I said that watercolor splotch that overlaps the long sidebar box. I want to find a circle to fit there. Oh, and I forgot. I'm not quite done with the right side. I did add one more box. I felt like the little layered box. This really makes this the focal point of the spread. I love how it's all kind of grouped together, but still so much room to write. And like, if you need to add more boxes, you could definitely add more underneath. But I like the overlapping boxes. Now, I want to add some splatters to the left side. I want to find a circle box if I can to work with that watercolor sticker. And then I need to kind of just find a way to finish off that open empty area on this design. So there's basically two big focal points. They both center around Minnie, and I made sure there was tons of layering. So here I found my box. I found it. Okay, you guys, this is actually from the Biz Babe Goals sticker book. It says, "You are the person for the job." I love this sticker. In fact, I'd lifted it up at some point and put it back in the sticker book. I could tell when I went to the sticker book to grab it. And I feel like this is the perfect spread for it. I love the color. I think it matches perfectly. I did have to use undo again. I'm so annoyed. I really try not to use undo that much, but whatever. And I'm gonna kind of glue all that down. I found Choose Joy Today from the Wild Styled sticker book. I don't know if it's still available. Once I go to add the sticker books here in the description, definitely, if I can find it, I will link it. If I can't, it will not be down below. But that's from Wild Styled. So is going to be Be You, Do You, For You. It's another little clear sticker. So I like that the Choose Joy Today was on kind of a tan background. I think that ties into my spread perfectly. And then I like that this was clear. And I'm just going to, the ends are completely clear and I didn't want all that on my spread. So I'm just trimming that down a little bit. There's no need for it. And I love it. There's still a little space to write if I needed to. I am going to add one more watercolor sticker. So remember, I went back on the right side and added those kind of brown watercolory splotches from the Abstract Recovery watercolor book. I need to add one of those over here to balance it all out. So I'm trying to pick the exact one. I'm going to settle. I like the little spots. I tried to use this big one and I'm like, you know, I don't think this is it. I kept trying to use this one. In fact, I did lay it down and it's not quite right. I did lift it back up. Oh, why did I press it so hard? But I will lift it up and I'm going to add a different one. And I'm glad I did, as I said, because I don't know, for whatever reason, that was a little too much and I needed something a little daintier and smaller. Okay, I switched it out for that one. I like it so much more. I am going to add Work on Goals here from Biz Babe, and that is it. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for my vertical spread for the week of January 3rd through the 9th. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.